You finish a long day, walk past everyone still talking, and grab your helmet without a word about where you're headed. No explanation, no permission needed, just gone. People watch you do this and assume they already understand it, that you are avoiding responsibility, chasing a little danger, refusing to grow up like everyone else did. But here is the part they never ask about. You do not feel more lost out there. You feel clearer, like something loud finally went quiet. So what actually disappears inside your mind the second that engine starts? Because they're not just riding, and what they're really escaping from is probably not what anyone thinks. Most people watching you leave assume the obvious story, that you're running from a relationship, a responsibility, some version of adulthood you'd rather not face. But that's rarely what's happening. Most riders are not trying to abandon their lives. They are trying to get their minds back after a day spent responding to deadlines, notifications, and other people's decisions. Psychologists call one piece of this autonomy the feeling that your actions are actually your own. On the bike, you choose the route, the speed, the timing. Nobody assigns the next task. The second piece is flow. Riding demands constant attention, corners, traffic, balance, road surface. And that pulls your awareness so far into the present that the looping worries in your head simply lose their signal. But that relief gets complicated fast, the moment the motorcycle becomes the only place you ever feel free. At first, the relief is real. You come back calmer, sharper, more yourself. But over months, some riders notice something quieter happening underneath. The bike has become the only place they feel present, the only place they feel powerful, the only place their mind actually goes silent. And what they're avoiding is rarely the job or the family people assume. More often, it's the pressure to look strong at all times. A life that has started to feel repetitive, scheduled, controlled by someone else's calendar. Grief, anger, or disappointment they've never actually put into words. The quiet fear that somewhere along the way, they became a person they never meant to become. Here's the honest part most riders won't say out loud. The engine can interrupt a spiraling thought. Experiential avoidance describes attempts to escape unwanted thoughts and feelings, even when doing so creates harm in the long run. And short-term relief through avoidance can make that avoidance more likely to repeat. Interruption isn't the same as healing. That doesn't mean every rider is secretly unraveling. Most aren't. Riders are often seen as reckless by people who have never ridden, when in reality the danger is rarely who they are off the bike. The real question isn't whether you ride. It's whether you come back from the road more capable of facing what's waiting for you, or only more desperate to leave again. Here's the truth underneath all of it. Most riders are not trying to disappear. They're trying to reconnect with a version of themselves that feels awake, capable, actually free. And the motorcycle works because it stacks several needs into a single ride. Autonomy because you choose the road. Competence because every corner demands real skill. Presence because nothing pulls attention into the current second quite like two wheels and no cage around you. Identity because out there you exist beyond your job title and your obligations. Belonging because riders often connect without needing to explain a single feeling out loud. So the real difference was never whether you ride to clear your head. It's what happens after. Healthy escape sends you back with enough energy to face what's waiting. Avoidance just postpones the same unresolved thing again and again. Ask yourself honestly, do you return calmer or only numb for a while? Riding toward clarity or away from a conversation you know you need to have? Is the bike one source of freedom or your only one? The road can't fix everything, but it can show you what daily life has been quietly burying under routine. Maybe the ride was never about distance. Sometimes a ride isn't about the destination, the speed, or even the machine underneath you. It's about finding the one place where your mind finally stops performing for everyone else. So here's a question worth sitting with. When you ride, what are you actually leaving behind, and what part of yourself are you trying to find again? Drop it in the comments. Your answer might be the exact sentence another writer has never been able to put into words for themselves. And if this kind of thing makes sense to you, subscribe for more videos exploring the psychology behind the choices, habits, and emotions only writers really understand. Because sometimes they're not just writing, they're trying to remember who they are.